Chinese manufacturers have allegedly come forward, and the world of luxury may never be the same. The Hermès empire is under fire once again, but this time it's not TikTok sleuths or outraged influencers causing the stir. It's the very manufacturers who are reportedly producing Hermès bags.
It starts with 30 distinct cuts of leather and can take 20 hours to complete, 4 hours for just the handle. Put the finishing touches on a Kelly, the most difficult bag to build. Artisans rely on their training and muscle memory to make every bag.
Stepping out of the shadows, they're exposing what they claim is one of the most overpriced and overhyped illusions in fashion history. According to them, the thousands you're spending on a Birkin or a Kelly aren't paying for craftsmanship or heritage, you're paying for branding. Because these factory workers say they're the ones sewing the bags, not some artisan in a candlelit workshop in Paris. And the moment these allegations went public, what did Hermès do? They lawyered up.
Have y'all seen that TikTok by the Chinese guy exposing how luxury goods are actually made? The only real difference? China ships the products to Europe, slaps on a made in France or made in Italy label, and boom, luxury? It's ridiculous.
Lawsuits came fast. Accusations of defamation and intellectual property theft were thrown like designer daggers. But for many, the damage was already done. The aura of untouchable luxury has started to crack. The myth of made in France is crumbling. And now, everyone's asking one simple question.
These are pieces of artwork. These artisans train years and years to make one of these bags.
Fabrice is doing the last stitching on a Kelly bag. A Kelly takes around 13 hours to be made, depending on the materials that we make it. Our artisans, they need to do 4 years of training to be able to manufacture a Kelly bag.
Hermès says, made in China, does it feel cheaper? No, that's not a quality issue. It's luxury brand washing.
Hermès, you guys, it's time to show off your factories. No, I don't want to wait to go on YouTube and watch a beautiful documentary on show them off right here on TikTok. Let the world see. Okay, get like China. You gotta be ghetto about it. Just let people know.
Have we been scammed this entire time? It began with whispers, then grainy videos, and now full-blown exposés. Multiple Chinese manufacturers have released behind-the-scenes footage allegedly showing the production of what they claim are real Hermès bags. Same leather, same hardware, same stitching.
Had a lot of requests, do Hermès next. And that's why we're here in the Highland Park Mall.
In Italy, made in China, or maybe made in Chile. Oh yeah, that should be a thing, by the way. I have spent over $100,000 of my own money dissecting luxury bags, cutting them open, analyzing every stitch, every layer. Why? Because I had to know what made those bags so expensive.
But here's the kicker. They're not being made in Paris ateliers. They're being cranked out in ultra-efficient high-tech factories in China. And the claim isn't just that they can make bags like Hermès. No, they're saying they are making Hermès bags. The very same ones that appear in Rodeo Drive boutiques and exclusive Paris salons. The ones customers wait years to get, paying anywhere from $20,000 to $40,000 each. What truly blew people's minds wasn't just how real the bags looked. It's that it takes serious skill to craft them the right way.
Real, it requires a lot of skill to turn it and get it in the right way.
Il y a des bouchées, des bacs plus 4, 5, 6.
It's that the factory workers were openly calling them authentic, and that threw a grenade into the luxury world. Because if the bags are being made overseas, then what exactly are you paying for? That tiny Made in France stamp? The illusion of old world European craftsmanship? Consumers started waking up, and fast. This wasn't counterfeiting. It was something far more dangerous. This was corporate exposure.
De l'entrée, où on me donne des morceaux de cuir jusqu'au moment où je vais avoir livré ma pièce. Je veux pas qu'on reproduise un geste de façon indéfinie en se disant bon bah je fais toujours ce même geste et je pense qu'on est vraiment là pour apprendre un métier et pas des tâches.
Brutal, undeniable, and deeply humiliating. The factories didn't just spill the secrets. They mocked the price tag. According to them, a Birkin that sells for $30,000 costs under $600 to produce. Let that sink in. But even that wasn't the real shock. Hermès moved instantly.
My point is, I think it's crazy how designer brands have been selling things for thousands when China sell them on and literally they're so cheap. If the Chinese manufacturers are making the same, like the actual Birkins, and then they are also selling these on the side as well, technically this is an absolute fucking bargain because it's the exact same material as a Birkin.
The moment the videos gained traction, Hermès' legal team went scorched earth. Lawsuits were filed, targeting several Chinese manufacturers for defamation and unauthorized reproduction of intellectual property. Hermès didn't hold back. They called the allegations false, malicious, and damaging to the integrity of the brand. In official statements, they doubled down, insisting that every single product is handcrafted in France by elite artisans who undergo years of training. They emphasized that their supply chain is closely guarded, with no unauthorized third parties involved, and any suggestion otherwise was an outright lie. But behind the scenes, it was chaos. Executives were scrambling, and internal memos allegedly warned of a brand reputation emergency. One source even claimed that Hermès executives feared that even if the lawsuit succeeded, the trust was already gone. Because let's face it, once consumers see something with their own eyes, no lawsuit can undo that. And fans online weren't exactly rallying behind Hermès. Social media exploded with side-by-side comparisons of real and fake bags that looked nearly identical. Comment sections flooded with users questioning why they should ever pay $25,000 again if the same bag could be made for just a few $100. Even worse, some Hermès resellers began pulling listings. The resale market dipped, and collectors started questioning the authenticity of bags they'd bought years ago, bags they'd insured for tens of thousands. This wasn't just a legal battle. It was a full-blown public trust meltdown. While Hermès may be winning in court, they're bleeding in perception. When a luxury brand has to shout, "We're real," it's already lost something far more valuable than a case. It's mystique. And the fallout from that is just beginning. Let's break down the numbers, because this is where the outrage truly begins. According to the manufacturers who've allegedly worked on Hermès bags, producing a Birkin or even a Kelly costs them around $600, including premium leather, skilled labor, and hardware. $600. Yet these bags are marked up to $15,000, $25,000, or even $38,000, depending on the model and its rarity. And Hermès wants you to believe that this price is justified by exclusivity, that it's not just about materials or labor, but about heritage, artisanship, and legacy. But now those words are beginning to sound a lot like marketing fluff. When you strip away the storytelling, the silk scarf branding, and the Paris showroom glitz, what are you left with? A product priced nearly 65 times its production cost. That's not luxury. That's extortion with a logo. People online aren't having it. TikTok has been flooded with side-by-side comparisons showing factory-made bags versus the official ones, and the differences are microscopic, if there are any at all. Reddit threads are filled with former luxury buyers admitting they feel duped, embarrassed, even violated. Because this isn't just about fashion. It's about being told your identity, your worth, your status is tied to a bag that insiders claim is no different than something made in a Shenzhen workshop. And the luxury market can pretend this is about craftsmanship all it wants, but the internet has receipts, and people are furious. But it wasn't just about the price tag. What came next was even worse. The moment this story hit the internet, resale markets started tanking. Buyers who once proudly flaunted their Hermès collections began asking brutal questions. How do I know this isn't one of the exposed bags? Why did I pay 6 figures for something that might have been mass-produced like a knockoff? Is any of this even worth anything anymore? Suddenly, auction houses, consignment platforms, and third-party luxury verifiers were overwhelmed. Some started issuing internal audits. Others allegedly flagged listings for further inspection. Even worse, major resellers were forced to quietly remove certain listings while they reviewed authenticity standards. That's code for their panicking behind the scenes. Collectors started pulling out. Prices dipped. Trust evaporated. On deal. Social media, it was an absolute bloodbath. Former customers roasted Hermès and its defenders, calling them brainwashed, elitist, and willing participants in a luxury Ponzi scheme. One viral comment summed it up perfectly. "I didn't buy a bag. I bought a delusion. And now I want my money back." This wasn't just a PR nightmare. It was a credibility meltdown. The entire foundation of the Hermès image, its aura, of elite, handmade, generational quality, shattered overnight. And here's the kicker. Hermès isn't alone. Not even close. The second Hermès got exposed, everyone started spying on the rest of the luxury world. Once the allegations against Hermès exploded, it was like dominoes falling across the fashion industry. Whispers started swirling around. Prada, with posts emerging, alleging that parts of their handbags were being stitched in the exact same Chinese factories, then shipped to Europe just to have the final tag sewn in. That way, they could still legally claim made in Italy. Louis Vuitton wasn't spared either. Several exposés resurfaced, claiming that some of their most iconic monogram pieces are assembled in countries like Spain and the US, but carry inflated European price tags simply because of the name. Chanel? Their silence was deafening, and that's never a good sign. Consumers started connecting the dots. If Hermès, a brand that prides itself on absolute exclusivity, can allegedly be linked to outsourced, unacknowledged production, who else is cutting corners behind the curtain? And here's where it gets even more chaotic. Some factory insiders are now claiming they've worked across multiple luxury brands, same materials, same construction lines, different logos. Let that sink in. What the public is beginning to realize is devastating to luxury labels. These brands aren't selling better quality, they're selling better stories. And that narrative, that fantasy of true luxury, is collapsing in real time. The internet doesn't forget. And now, every high-end brand is under a microscope. The fallout is just getting started. The idea that products made in China are of inferior quality is being challenged. Modern Chinese factories produce high-quality goods, often matching or exceeding European standards. This shift in perception is reshaping consumer attitudes. Hermès's revenue and brand image are under threat. The lawsuits and ensuing controversy could have significant financial implications, not just for Hermès, but for the luxury industry as a whole. The luxury industry's veil of exclusivity and craftsmanship is being lifted. As consumers become more informed, brands must adapt to maintain trust and authenticity. The question remains, in a world where transparency is paramount, can luxury brands uphold their esteemed reputations?